Enjoy.
Hi, folks. It's nice to see you. It's like the Wizard of Oz at the end, where everybody's there. Yeah. Very, very nice for me. It could be the mushrooms, too, so I'm not quite sure, but I'm feeling a lot of love in the room. I'm hoping John's going to come up and play a tune at the end. Man, how about a big hand for John? He's like Mark Knopfler, only lives here. Yeah, that's a good thing. Okay, so this is fun for me because doing this for a living, most of the time I play in places where 6 TVs are going and people are screaming. So it's kind of nice to have it a little quiet. It's a little unnerving, actually. I'm a little freaked out. But that could be the mushrooms, so I'm not sure. I think we're going to do this chronologically. This is a song I wrote. I grew up in San Francisco, moved to Indiana when I was 13, and met a kid at the teen lounge of the Jewish Community Center across the street from me. His name was David, and we became buddies and started writing songs. And I wrote this with David and my friend John Sheets, who had a friend who lived in a really small town. And by the time you were 13 and thinking about girls, you knew the name of every girl who lived in your town. So it's called Ain't No New Girls Around. Welcome to my world, Single and Jasper. Everyone works for Kimball, making furniture or pianos, 'cause it's all they make. Saturday night, you're gonna go on down to Earl's and see all of the same girls, at least the ones left since I began taking interest. I guess you gotta make do with what you got. I got a buddy named Buddy. Sunday afternoon, we look through the paper, maybe a divorce there, maybe a new store. Man, I really should ditch this town, but at least I got a job. Still it seems like it's God getting me back for what the old man did. La la la, ooh la la, 'cause there ain't no new girls around since I was a kid. I once dated this girl from Louisville, but he called her out of town talent. I thought that was pretty cool. She was in nursing school. We really didn't have that much to talk about, except how people seem to get sick a lot down at the veneer factory. Guess she just didn't want to get back with me. I really should ditch this town, but at least I got a job. Still it seems like it's God getting me back for what the old man did. La la la, ooh la la, 'cause there ain't no new girls around. There ain't no new girls around since I was a kid. And we really should ditch this town, while at least one of us still got a job. But hey man, life's more than just consequence of what some old man did. La la la, ooh la la, where there ain't no new girls around. I really should ditch this town, No, there ain't no new girls around since I was a kid. Okay, that song is available on our first album. This shit's been out of print for so long. I actually spent the last 2 days mocking these up on my computer. And I got them shrink wrapped at the local record store. Cost me $5. What's $5 divided by 12? Or what that cost me per album? 60 cents? Thank you. So they're available back at the barber table. So David and I have been writing songs since we were kids, and Jane asked me a question. She was like, "How'd you start writing songs? Why? How was that important to you? Why did you? What's the feeling like?" And it was like we both started laughing about it because it's so hard to say. I mean, you guys all love music for some reason, and we all do, and it's just it's emotion. It is, and it's weed. Keep going. There's more. So David and I, actually, I'm trying to finish up, so my 2 albums are back there, along with a third I produced. We're trying to finish up my next one, and it's going to come with a 235 cut digital download called If a Band Fell in the Forest. So think about that. Yeah, so it's a lot of, I think it's 8 days of listening if you're really in the mood. So we're going through our archives, and this is one we never recorded. This is advice Dave's dad gave to him, and now I would, for you ladies in the audience, I would think about this song as if a mother was telling her daughter, change the gender, because it's going to sound really misogynist, but it's not. So there's some great, so please switch the gender. And also, please remember that's coming from Dave's dad in like 1984, who grew up in a particular, but, I think it's good we talk about this stuff. There were some great, like what are the great misogynist songs in rock? Todd Rundgren's We Gotta Get You a Woman was sort of banned from radio because it had a line, they may be stupid, but they sure are fun. Which I think you got to look in the context. Also, Dylan's "Just Like a Woman," that's also, so this goes in that category. When you marry a girl, you inherit the family. That's what my father said to me. He said, look at the mother before you choose the wife, or you'll regret it. You'll regret it for the rest of your life. Listen to me, my son. Listen now to what I said. Go and have all your fun. Just be careful before you wed. When I was a young man, I met a girl, she was a pretty young thing. Before I took her love, had to give a diamond ring. And we married for life. That little chapel by the bay. Oh, the life lasted 2 years, but I remember her to this day. When you marry a girl, you inherit the family. That's what my father said to me. He said, look at the mother before you choose the wife, or you'll regret it. You'll regret it for the rest of your life. horses and sadness, childhood tragedy. They say love overcomes all, but not when that genetic flaw. When you marry a girl, when you marry a girl, when you marry a girl. See, so if you switch it to a mom talking to her daughter, it's the same thing, really. Okay. Does anybody have any mushrooms? Just asking for a friend. My first band out of college, we were just kids. We ended up somehow opening for Culture Club in Louisville, Kentucky, in front of 8,000 kids who had never been to a concert before. And so it was kind of challenging. For the first 5 minutes, we thought we were the Beatles. And then we realized we were playing behind a giant banner that said Culture Club. So the kids thought we were freaking Culture Club, and Boy George was going to come out. But he didn't, and we had to play another 35 minutes while they were, chanting for Boy George. And the roadies were like, oh yeah, just 40 more minutes, you're good, keep going. I wrote this with my friend Pete Gable, who was in the band. Now the band was called, I kid you not, our band name was Today's Icons. Yeah, not the greatest name ever. Which we realized when we went in the patio, which was the great rock and roll bar in Indianapolis at the time. Someone had crossed out our Today's Icons on the ceiling and wrote yesterday's news. And I was like, you know what? We should have thought about that. Yeah, we didn't see that one coming. Yeah. Anyway, we had read that Alice Cooper would, the night before his recording sessions, would drink beer and watch TV and write down whatever they said, and that would become his lyrics. So school's out for summer. It was from a TV ad. No more Mr. Nice Guy. It was like some sort of cleaning commercial or something. So Pete and I thought, exactly, yeah. Actually, Alice Cooper fan, one of the great American rock and roll bands of all time, man, from 1970 to 75, the Alice Cooper Group. So Pete and I thought we'd just smoke a lot of pot and watch TV and write a song. And the next day we had all these. It was like a Henry Fonda like circus movie. I haven't even looked. It was from like the late 30s. He was like in a circus, and we wrote down all this stuff. And anyway, the song's called Mission of Mercy, and you can draw your own conclusions. It's kind of random, but I think it's about, sometimes just love isn't enough, sometimes it's not enough. And so Mission of Mercy to Reno, kind of a divorce. Think of it as like a turbulent relationship, but these people are trying to figure it out. Been on a mission of mercy to Reno. Left the garden, the fruit stopped growing. Like a shepherd lost his sheep 'cause the sky was snowing. What remains is almost nothing. You'll never be rid of her and her sweet craziness. You will hit harder than I thought. From the moment I met you, we were always saying goodbye. From the moment I met you, we were always saying it's a mission of mercy. Love a dancer, and she'll plant flowers in your heart. Shade the garden and water it with your love, and like the ash from your cigarette falls your heart. Been on a mission of mercy to Reno, left the garden, fruit stopped growing, like a shepherd lost his sheep cause the sky was snowing. What remains is almost nothing. Well, Gabriel's horn couldn't pipe you down, still you treated her like a tramp. Wipe those tears from her face. Tonight, you're going to a dance tonight. Well, like daylight, she smiled. She threw her shoes into the ocean. She said, baby, I ain't never coming back. It's a mission of mercy. Mission of mercy. It's a mission of mercy. Mission of mercy. Mission of mercy. Love the dancer. She'll plant flowers in your heart. Shade the garden. Water it with your blood, and like the ash from your cigarette falls your heart. Like the ash from your cigarette will fall your heart. Like the ash from your cigarette will fall your heart. Oh, like the ash from your cigarette. Been on a mission of mercy to Reno. Thank you. That's not on this CD, but you should get that one anyway. I'll make a deal. You know what? It's $20 for all 3 CDs. Our first CD, Be Apart, second CD, Everything That Ever Was, and then I produced one of my great friends who used to be a partner in my studio in Indianapolis, Scott Sanders, great songwriter, has a band called The Reach Arounds. It's an homage to Stanley Kubrick's Full Metal Jacket. Anybody seen that movie? Sure. About Sergeant Pyle. You wouldn't have the common decency to offer a... Reach around. There you go. I'm going to play the song. Now, songwriting, Jane was asking me about songwriting, and it's like, it's a mystery. Scott had a song he was telling me about for years. He just couldn't finish it. He goes, man, I got the greatest song ever. I just can't fucking finish it. I was like, okay, come on over, bring some mushrooms. We'll find it. So it's on here. It's called sorry, I'm reading this great book called, what's that called? By Michael... How to Change Your Mind by Michael Pollan, a great writer who normally does sort of botany and things, and so mushrooms have been on my mind. Although I'm afraid about an aneurysm at my age, so it's like, I'm thinking about it, but anyway, so Scott, I helped Scott finish this song. I think I wrote the second verse and did the end of the chorus. It's called One Misplaced Kiss. Oh, you know what? It has a part that goes, I, I. Could we get you guys to do that? So it's I. Whenever that part comes in, please feel free. One misplaced kiss can bring your world to an end. The things you miss, don't even try to pretend. What would you do at a moment like this? For one one fleeting instant of bliss, one misplaced kiss can bring your world to an end. In a place like this, but how will you know when it's real? You're left with this, the emptiness that you still feel. What can you say when it's all gone away? There's nothing worth saving to stay. One misplaced kiss can bring your world to an end. I never wanted to hurt anyone. But now the damage is done and there's nowhere to run. I never wanted to hurt anyone. You're crying an ocean of tears for one night in the sun. One misplaced kiss can bring your world to an end. The things you miss, but it don't even try to pretend. What would you do at a moment like this? For one fleeting instant of bliss, one misplaced kiss can bring your world to an end. One misplaced kiss. Very nice. Mr. Scott Sanders of Escondido, California now. That's back there. All 3 CDs, $20. It's 8, you know what? They have bonus material on both of mine, so they're 80 minutes each. That's 160. Scott's album is a little under a minute. Anyway, do the math. It's all the music. And then we can buy some mushrooms. So please, gonna send it to my songwriting partner. He's like, man, sell some fucking CDs. I need some money. Let's see. Oh shit, I dropped my thing. This is weird. Normally people are just screaming and watching TV when I'm playing. This is odd. Or telling what to play in the bar band. Yeah, that's right. Someone yell out a number. No, yell out a number between 1 and 14. Sweet Jane, that's a good one too. No, then it can't be on the video. I'm sorry, it doesn't work with the release I signed. 114.7. Okay. That's a great song. This is a song I wrote about a friend of mine who loved the Beatles even more than I did, which is hard to do. We were raised in the church of Beatles, saved by rock and roll. By the time I finally met you, you were 24 years old, and your band was called The Shouts. Ours was so lame, let's leave it out. Your right hand rhythm strumming was straighter than John Wayne. roaring in the April rain back in '87. It's hard to believe, but this place was heaven. Your eyes are full of empathy, heart full of fat guy pain. Songs all truth and beauty, melody pure and plain, just like you. Now what are we to do? Breaks your heart open wide. Tell John and George we said hi. Before this place was Pottersville, it was a rock in Bedford Falls. Only laughter ringing out in the streets. Did we smell the coming fall in that sweet August rain? This won't be coming around again. Well, it's 2 a.m. at the patio, and I sure ain't driving home. Quest got the low end kicking. Your bob on this now and rocking to the bone, man, it's louder than hell. Ears buzzing the next day, and your girl still look good. How we love our neighborhood breaks your heart open wide. Tell John and George we said hi, 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 hi. Sometime in the zeros, we got together to sing. Your house right around lunchtime. You were watching the kids, man, you loved being a dad. Best gig you ever had. You had worked all night and not halfway house, or sang 4 hours straight in some bar. It went easier when you were boozing, but now you remember it all and don't lose the next day. Man, them kids always wanna play, breaks your heart open wide. Try to guess the reason why this is all indeed hello, goodbye. Tell John and George we said hi, 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 hi. My buddy's name was Bob Bullock. If you Google Bob on This, you can find that was his name. It was Bob, and his band was Bob on This. So it's kind of a little, perhaps a double entendre. I'm not quite sure, but if you Google that, he was such a great songwriter. You'll find some great songs there. Gee, how are we doing time-wise, Jane? Where are we? You guys doing okay? This is fun. Nice seeing you. 20 minutes? Okay, good. It's better than the 45 minutes that the roadies at the Culture Club show kept giving us. It didn't change. Like 40 minutes. It was like, what the fuck? We just asked you 10 minutes ago. 40 minutes. Keep going. I'm trying to figure this out here. This is... Oh, you guys don't know. I had an interesting thing. I just played a couple weeks ago in Los Angeles. I played this big at the NAMM show, which is the National Association of Music Merchandisers. So everybody who makes musical instruments or musical equipment is there. And it's this giant convention at the Anaheim Convention Center. And I have a friend who owns a company that owns 8 business-to-business magazines in the music industry, mostly like front of house for sound engineers. He does an annual award show called the Parnelli Awards. It's kind of like the Academy Awards of live sound. And I got to play the event. So I played during cocktails and dinner. Had to play during the in memoriam, and they brought me back out, and it was a whole lot of fun. And I was backstage. Some guy came up to me and he said, "Hey man, you sounded great out there." He shook my hand. I thought he was just like a guy who owned a lighting company or something, because they were all getting awards. But it was Stone Gossard, the one of the founders of Pearl Jam. Thought I sounded good. I was like, fucking right on, man. Pearl Jam, bitch. I guess I'm not just a schmuck from Indiana. And then I'm watching the video. A guy got a Lifetime Achievement Award. His name was Michael Strickland, and he had a company called Bandit Lights. So he made those lights that move around. It's like his design. He was Garth Brooks' #1 lighting guy, like through Garth's whole career. And I'm watching the video, and then there's a hubbub and some people. I'm like, this guy's cool. And then a bunch of people got in front of me and were blocking my view on the video while I'm backstage. And it's like some guy had a big hat on. I'm like watching this video. I'm like, look out, man. It's fucking Garth Brooks guy getting the shit. I was like, and they showed Garth Brooks, and then he had a big black hat on. This guy had a black hat on. And I thought, oh, you roadie motherfucker. Just take your Garth Brooks hat off and get out of my way. And I was this close to like edging in front of him so I could see. But it was Garth Brooks. He went up on stage and did a thing for the guy. I was like, oh man, I'm glad I didn't listen to my inner George Costanza. I was so close to ruining the whole thing. But one of the fun things on my trip was I got to go to so David, my songwriting partner, so I met him when I was a kid, and then we've been friends forever, and he got a job. Actually, he went in the Peace Corps right after college and was in the Central African Republic, which is one of the most dangerous places on earth. And it was a rough thing. But he then moved to New York. He got a job as the receptionist at Rolling Stone in the late 80s. Yeah, and worked his way up to ad sales, and then he was like at Spin magazine, and he was all over the place. And then got downsized by magazines sort of dying, when he turned 50, and he's been doing a legal cannabis advocacy called the MJBA, Marijuana Business Association. He lived in Seattle, now he's in Las Vegas, so he has been a legal cannabis advocate. And I got to go in my first dispensary on my trip to California. Raise your hand if you've ever been. Anybody ever been to a legal? Oh, yeah. For those of you listening at home, that's about 80% of the audience. But I had never been. It was a momentous thing for me. I was like, finally. I mean, it was like emotional. I was like, Jesus Christ, man, when I was 15, I dreamed of this day. And so I'm talking to this kid at the dispensary, and he's just looking at me nodding his head. I'm going, man, this is like the end of slavery for me. This is like the 1850s going to New York, and you mean you're not a slave state? Fucking right on. And I'm going on, and he was a little high. And he looked at me, and finally he just said, "Go Union." To get me to shut up, I think. So anyway, David and I wrote this song. It's 4:20, and I think of you, Mary Jane. Since you ran out on me, things ain't quite the same, Mary Jane. There's no color in my lonely sky. Without you, honey, I just wanna cry. I'm sad and lonely, feeling pain. Without you, Mary Jane. I miss your tender touch and your sweet smell, Mary Jane. Without you, honey, I don't do so well, Mary Jane. You left me not high and dry. Without you, honey, I just wanna cry. I'm sad and lonely, feeling pain. Without you, Mary Jane. Mary Jane. high school. Mary Jane, Mary Jane. We cut classes and laughed at all their silly rules. Mary Jane, you showed me I could laugh and sing. You flower angel, everything. One day for you, freedom will ring. We need you, Mary Jane. Mary Jane. Can I get some help here? Mary Jane. Mary Jane. It's 420, Mary Jane. It's 420, Mary Jane. Need you, Mary Jane. 110 times safer than alcohol, I might add. This is, I guess the French word homage means rip-off. David and I went to Jamaica when we were like 30. It was my first time really being out of the country. And they have pot down there. I don't know if you guys ever heard about that. I was with Bobby Dylan. We were at the Cabana, singing songs for Greenpeace, sailing for Havana. We were international representatives of a youth culture that has manifested itself in these days of corporate sponsors. We were dazed and confused on the Caribbean seas, seized by the madness of the music, if you please, making waves while the warships waited down in the harbor. I was with Allen Ginsberg, went to groove his hideaway, harboring ill feelings from the previous day. He was drinking his Cuba Libre underneath the bamboo. That shady guy grooving moved through and through. After sampling his product, we shuffled away and blew with the boys in the band from Columbus, Ohio. Well, I tell her I speak no English in some broken Spanish manner. She smiles and invites me inside her cabana. Fuck it, she coons, knowing it worked in the last war. I grab my drink and praise the Lord for keeping me sober. Treetop Hotel, we were with Scotty the sailor, discussing our voyage across the bloody water. He advised us to bring supplies under cover of darkness. We said goodbye, but I knew we'd see him later. And later on in the alley, hit me up for more dinero. He was drunk in his eyes, hanging with some local heroes. We gave him all our money, expected not to see him again. No, the boys in the band from Columbus, Ohio. No, the boys in Columbus, Ohio. And all the boys in the band, Jimmy and Bob Dylan's 119 train. Hey, thanks, guys. Thank you, Jane. We'll see ya.